Hola YouTube, UU battle I have here. Hi again. I have a pretty cool little team that I made from scratch, and it was supposed to be a OU team, but then I looked at the mons and I was like, this might as well just be a UU team. So the mons I chose to make them around was pretty much Beedrill, Jolteon, and Kyurem. And then the mons I chose to support them were Slowking, Celebi, and Steelix, which is pretty much came out to be a good little core for me. And I'm going against my man Matt Moore over there, and he has a Scizor, Absol, a Gliscor, Sylveon, and Suicune, also a Raikou. So this is gonna be an insane battle from the start, just to let you know. So I'm gonna start off with my Beedrill as he starts off with his Scizor. And as we start the battle here off, I start off U-turning out, and I do a hell of a lot of damage off the U-turn to this Scizor, and in return I actually get pursuit trapped off the U-turn. Now I actually didn't know that you can get pursuited off a U-turn or a volt switch, so that kind of threw me off. So after getting a crit with the U-turn, I pretty much just get knocked out by the pursuit here, and then I volt switch the incoming Sylveon as he switches out his Scizor, and I bring out my Steelix in return just because I want to either get up rocks. I don't expect this thing to stay in, so I'm going to just get up rocks right now and take my chance to do that. And yep, after I get up rocks, and he brings out his Gliscor, his shiny Gliscor, who I actually think looks kind of cool. Shiny Gliscor is pretty cool. So I'm gonna switch out into my Kyurem, and he's gonna go for a knockoff and knock off my Choice Scarf. And I actually run Choice Scarf Kyurem a lot, and that actually kind of, I mean, it throws off the strategy with Kyurem a little bit, but it's okay because he still has all his HP and everything, so it's fine to get that knocked off. But it's good to know that Gliscor has knockoff for future reference, and that's gonna come into play later. As I go for an Ice Beam and get some damage off on Sylveon, I'm going to switch out and go into my Steelix here because I don't want to get a potential Moon Blast. But he's going to go for the Wish here just to get some health up and some HP back as he goes for the Protect here to complete the Wish, 2-turn Wish. I'm gonna go for Iron Head and just go into the Protect, but as the next turn comes, he's gonna switch out into Suicune, the incoming Suicune, as I planned for him to switch. I just wanted to get off decent damage on something, or go straight for the Toxic here. I was gonna Toxic something, unless he switched in Gliscor. That's the only thing that would have stopped that. But I Toxic the incoming Suicune, which is very great because Suicune is a Pokemon and it's good to wear him down residually throughout the battle. So I'm gonna switch out into my Celebi, as Celebi is gonna take an Ice Beam pretty well from Suicune, even though Celebi has the type resistance, or not type resistance, type super effective against it, being Ice type, being Grass type. So as the turn continues, he's gonna take some toxic damage and switch out of Suicune and actually switch into his Scizor. And as he brings in the Scizor, I'm gonna go for the Leaf Storm, which is gonna do pretty much nothing to the incoming Scizor at all. And not wanting to take a U-turn or a pursuit here, like he probably should have went for the pursuit there. I don't see why he didn't, but I went for the U-turn there, and he went for, and I made a horrible play here, and I U-turned into my Slowking for some odd reason. I don't know why, but I switched into my Slowking for some reason. I probably should have switched into not Scizor, but Steelix, and that would have probably been a better play. But I switched in my Slowking and just straight get O-code by a U-turn, like, of course. So I don't know why I did that. That was a bad play on my part. So I'm gonna he U-turns into his Sylveon and goes for a Wish as I switch into my Steelix, and I get off a whole bunch of damage with the Iron Head here. This turn he can just easily go for the Protect to save his Sylveon, but he ended up not doing that, I guess electing to get the Wish off on his Scizor. But I do a double switch here just because I thought he was going to go for the Protect anyway. So he has the switch, or he has the Wish on Scizor, and I go for the Volt Switch to pretty much knock his HP back down to where it was, and I switch right back into my Scizor, back into my Steelix, because I have Rocky Helmet on my Steelix. So if anything, I can get off damage on his Scizor, and I do in fact knock out his Scizor with the Rocky Helmet. And as I knock him out, he switches into his Gliscor, and I'm gonna switch out my Steelix and go into Kyurem here, because Kyurem is beastly here. And I pretty much can I can just go straight for the Draco, expecting a switch out, or expecting him to switch into Sylveon. I could not go for the Draco and maybe go for the Flash Cannon or the Earth Power. As he does switch into Sylveon, I could have just stayed with the plan and went straight for the Ice Beam. As I do, I knock out the incoming Sylveon, and that's gonna be goodbye Sylveon, which is good for me now because Kyurem is pretty much kind of safe, but he isn't Scarf, so he's kind of slower than most of his mons over there, including this Absol. And this Absol is gonna end up Mega Evolving here. As Absol Mega Evolves here, I expect some type of physical move or knockoff or something like that. So I switch into my Steelix here, and he goes for the Superpower, which does a decent, maybe 40%, and it does get the Rocky Helmet damage off. As he does that Superpower and switches out his Absol here, he's gonna switch out into Suicune. And as he switches out into Suicune, I'm gonna go for the Earthquake just to get off as much damage as possible. And I do a decent bit of damage there. As his Suicune is toxic, he's going to be taking some more damage here, and that is good for me. And as I switch out my Steelix here, I'm gonna go straight into my Celebi here. As he makes a good play and goes for the rest to cure himself of toxic and heals his health. But being sleep is also good for me because he can't attack me or set up on me with maybe Calm Mind or something like that. So as he switches out into the Raikou, I'm gonna actually go straight for the Leaf Storm here, expecting a whole bunch of damage, and I do at least a good 55 to 60% on the Raikou. So shouts out to Raikou there for taking that good decent damage. As the Raikou stays in, he's gonna go for, I believe, maybe Hidden Power Ice or Fire, most likely Ice. As I go for the U-turn, I'm going to bring in my Jolteon, because at this range of HP, if Raikou stays in, I can kill him with Volt Switch. Or he's gonna switch in his incoming Gliscor, and I should have predicted this, as you'll see in the future in future turns. I did make a note of this. He switched in his Gliscor. I probably should have got it on the first time around, being just being a little bit more experienced in the switching ins to Volt switches and stuff like that, because I kind of use the team a bit. So I'm gonna bring in my Celebi as he goes for the Earthquake and gets off decent damage. I believe that was Earthquake, or it might have been knockoff. Nope, it was I believe it was Earthquake, but he goes for the knockoff this turn. It actually knocks off my leftovers, which is okay, and actually probably better for me, as you'll see later on in the battle, as I probably didn't plan that, but losing leftovers was probably kind of good overall. And you'll see why. As he gets up rocks here, he's gonna bring in his Raikage, which is actually a cool name. I'm gonna U-turn and knock out the Raikage, the Raikou, and he's gonna go down. And I'm gonna switch out my Celebi back into my Kyurem, because Kyurem pretty much, he doesn't really do too much else in this battle, especially losing his Scarf. So I thought he was a pretty much good switch to just throw in here, just to check whatever he brings in. So as he brings in his Absol, I'm actually gonna switch out Kyurem, because I can just get off damage with Rocky Helmet here as he goes for any type of move. So he's gonna go for the Rocky Helmet, and I pretty much have no use for Steelix left here, so I'm just actually gonna leave him in to get knocked out by Superpower. And yeah, reason why I didn't sack off Kyurem, probably because he still could come in later and maybe do some damage to some other mon. Steelix pretty much had no more use, especially after losing Rocky Helmet. He already got up rocks, but he did do a lot of good things in this battle, especially knocking out Scizor and such. So he's gonna bring out his Gliscor here, and I predicted this switch in so perfectly the second time around, and I actually have Hidden Power Ice on my Jolteon. At the beginning of the battle, I actually thought I had Hidden Power Fire, so shouts out to me for having Hidden Power Ice there as I knock off the Gliscor. And that was actually huge, because Gliscor was gonna be a huge problem if I didn't have Hidden Power Ice. So I'm gonna switch out my Jolteon here, because I don't want to take a sucker punch in the grill into Kyurem, who pretty much gonna go down here to a knockoff after the second turn here. So this is the play I meant here. After getting knocked off earlier in the battle, I won't die with Celebi here. He's gonna be able to eat a fucking he's gonna eat a knockoff. He's gonna eat a knockoff here, and I'm gonna go for the U-turn and knock him out. And if I did have leftovers, of course, Absol would have definitely knocked out my Celebi. So I'm gonna after U-turning here, I'm gonna bring in my Jolteon, and his last Pokemon is this Suicune, and me being Jolteon and him being Sleep, he has no chance more to win this battle, as I go for the Thunderbolt with my Choice Specs Jolteon, and that was pretty much overkill for the 2-0 victory. Shouts out to Matt Moore for a really good battle, back and forth. It was back and forth a lot, especially with a lot of U-turns and volt switches going on. I pretty much like this team. It's built around pretty much Jolteon and Beedrill just to come in and outspeed everything and do a lot of damage here, and do a lot of switching into Slowking because he has Regenerator, and into Steelix, who has Rocky Helmet. So we also have good rock setters here with Celebi and Steelix. I'll try to pace bend this team actually, and I'll leave it below. But yep, guys. Other than that, Discord. Shouts out to this beautiful anime music. This brings back a lot of memories. Bleach is one of my favorite animes of all time. And yeah, shouts out to everything about this battle, and shouts out to Matt Moore once again. So see you guys later. 2 videos on the end screen. See ya.